Topic for today's webinar is BigCommerce for mid-market companies. My name is Farooq Krishnan. I'm a technical lead with Dunn Solutions Group. In today's webinar, we are going to cover an introduction to Dunn Solutions Group, what we call as Velocity Virtuous Cycle, common e-commerce challenges that involves new implementations and with your existing e-commerce platforms. We are going to solve this problem with BigCommerce as a software as service. We are going to introduce what BigCommerce is and why you need BigCommerce. We are going to introduce how BigCommerce can connect to several different third-party systems using their open APIs. We are going to show you a brief demo of out-of-the-box features, and then we are going to end today's session with question and answers. Please use the chat window in GoToWebinar to submit your questions. At the end of the presentation, we'll respond to as many questions as we can. Those questions we cannot get to will be addressed and sent to all attendees via email. Dunn Solutions is a digital transformation consultancy. Our mission is to bring velocity to our customers. Velocity is made up of two components, speed and direction. After all, if you want to move fast, you want to move fast in the right direction. We bring speed to automation and direction through analytics. Dunn Solutions has offices in US and India. Our corporate office is in Chicago with remote offices in Minneapolis and Bangalore. Let's talk about Velocity Virtuous Cycle. E-commerce is all about data, how people interact on your site, what products they view, how they click, what products they add on the cart. Dunn Solutions takes this information and we provide it to our machine learning and algorithms in analytics. These algorithms based on these machine learning algorithms learn the data and provide the data to marketing automation tool that does the marketing thing for you like list track, and it sends back the information back to the e-commerce platform. So that's the virtuous cycle, Velocity Virtuous Cycle. So with that, let's dig into what are the common challenges that we face with e-commerce implementation. You might have a new e-commerce initiative with your organization. You might not be currently having any platform at all, or you might be having a platform, but you are having some issues running an existing e-commerce platforms. So let's look at what are the challenges when implementing a new e-commerce platform. The major challenge that we face is determining the correct platform. Should we go with on-premise solution? Should we host everything? Or should we go with a SaaS vendor? If we decide to go with SaaS vendor, what vendor should we pick up? What features does the vendor provide you out of the box, and how much customizations do you need on those features? If you decide to go with on-prem and bring your own e-commerce tool, then how many servers, how much traffic your site is going to have, and how many load balancers, how many nodes you need. So those are some of the challenges that you need, that are associated with picking up the right platform. Let's say you picked up the right platform. The next major challenge is how would you integrate your current platform with your ERP? You may have several kinds of ERP, SAP Business One, NetSuite, any kind of ERP, and your e-commerce, if you decide with SaaS, it might be any vendor. So connecting these two platforms is an integration challenge. So we'll talk about how BigCommerce solves this integration challenge in the coming few slides. Now we picked the correct platform. We decided how to integrate your platform with your ERP system. The next major challenge is the branding strategy. Branding is not just about the logo on your site. It's more about how the products are categorized in your site. This involves how the user is interacting on your site, on your e-commerce site, which finally converts your site's traffic into orders. So it's very important at the beginning of the e-commerce initiative to do the branding correctly for a successful e-commerce launch and to have a successful revenue out of it. We talked about some of the challenges involved with new e-commerce initiatives. Let's look at what challenges we face when we try to run and upgrade our current e-commerce platforms. So we divided these challenges into separate groupings, which involves platforms. So there are challenges that are involved with the platform that's high operating cost. These requires maintaining your servers, maintaining the downtime, upgrading the patches, platform stability. Let's say you have a new feature that is implemented. When you try to integrate that feature into your existing platform, we don't know how stable it is, how scalable that feature is. The cost of development and maintenance, it involves maintaining your servers, especially during your heavy traffic, heavy load times. That is like a Cyber Monday sale or Thanksgiving, Black Friday sale. So those times you might have difficulties maintaining your servers and upgrading your existing servers. Security concerns. There's a lot of attacks going on, which involves denial of service attacks. So how do you mitigate those attacks with your current e-commerce platform? There is a very limited visibility into the performance, how good your store is performing. Currently, if you have an e-commerce platform, you have to integrate with a third-party analytics tool to monitor how well your store is performing. There's a lot of revenue lost to fraud as a result of credit cards being stolen. So these are all the drawbacks of your non-SaaS model that might lead to these issues. Let's continue with other challenges which involves user experiences. Not every e-commerce site is mobile responsive. They are not very usable on tablets. They are not usable on smartphones. There are restrictions with the designs, and there are restrictions on how you could extend those designs. The old systems are very tightly coupled, which means you have a presentation layer which is very tightly coupled with your databases. So if you decide to spin up another mobile version, you'll have to do customizations and create a whole lot of new code, which involves heavy development effort. So it's not very flexible. Some of the old e-commerce platforms do not have new features like cart abandonment. Most of the customers leave their e-commerce site when they reach to the point of checkout. So there should be a way of converting these carts and make those users come back onto the on the site to continue with their checkout. It is very difficult for B2B sites to integrate with the ERPs. If you decide to have a separate shipping provider, tax gateway, payment gateway, not every e-commerce solution has a gateway provider that is out of the box, that comes out of the box with your e-commerce solution. Social media selling, these days it's very important to sell your products across different channels to gain some traffic, like Facebook, Instagram. So it's very important for your e-commerce platform to have support for these kind of things where you can expose your product catalogs on different social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's say if you have a question about implementation or if you come across any issues on your current site, whom do you reach out to? Do you reach out to developers? Do you reach out to contractors? How would you handle a situation where you do not know how to get a solution for your problem? There is no ecosystem. So having an ecosystem is a major point when deciding what e-commerce platform you should choose. So we talked about all the problems. Now let's look at the solution. We propose BigCommerce because BigCommerce is an open SaaS model. It's a leading e-commerce platform for fast-growing and mid-marketing brands. It was founded in 2009, headquartered in Austin, Texas. So for those of you who don't know what SaaS model is, let's talk briefly about this. So SaaS is a software that is owned, delivered, and managed remotely by one or more providers. The software is based on one set of common code. You can pay for this software either on a subscription model or you can pay as you use it. It's predicted that by 2019, SaaS will have about 66% of e-commerce software as compared to what it was in 44% in 2013. One of the major advantages of the SaaS model is the scalability. Let's say you have a peak traffic during Cyber Monday or Black Friday. How does your SaaS platform handle that traffic? Is it capable enough to handle large amount of orders? Is it capable enough to handle those many updates? Will it crash? Will there be any downtime? So to answer those questions, we have BigCommerce, some of the data that they have collected in the past. BigCommerce can handle around 35,000 orders a day. Around 25,000 product updates can be done in a minute. The average response time is 145 milliseconds. That is very amazing, especially if you're browsing on a slow network or on a smartphone device. There are about 60,000 online stores on BigCommerce, and the average order value a day is 25 million. So these facts are amazing. It shows how scalable your system can be. Some of the other reasons why we prefer BigCommerce is reliability. BigCommerce has service level agreements. This is available for businesses that demand and require ironclad dependability. It's mobile responsive, like we talked about. Always on any device, regardless of form factor, to access BigCommerce storefronts. There's a 24/7 customer support. You can reach the BigCommerce customer support by phone, email, or chat, and within 2 minutes, the calls will be responded, and 90% of the problems are resolved on the first call. BigCommerce is secure. They are PCI compliant, and there's a support for denial of service attacks, which is if you decide to go with any other solution, it would cost you extra $5,000 a month just to implement a denial of service mitigation tactic. But this comes out of the box for BigCommerce with enterprise plans. It's observed that there's around 28% growth for the merchants who decide to go with BigCommerce. So your investment is protected by a return of investment. There's a continuous innovation, so you don't have to worry about upgrades or implementing patches, hiring another set of developers to implement your patches. So everything, if there's any new feature, it will be rolled out automatically to your stores. There's a robust product map. There's some innovation going on behind the labs every time. So the money that you put in, it's used for the innovation, which ultimately reflects back into your store. So we talked about the problem of people leaving your site and abandoning the carts. So these are just the average figures. It might not be related exactly to your stores, but it's observed that around 60% of the carts are being abandoned on a general e-commerce store before checkout. With BigCommerce implementation, there's an average, we can recover average of 15% of these carts. Again, these are just the figures. It may not be directly related to your store, but it's something that's been observed. So with BigCommerce, you can automatically send emails to customers. So you can customize how many abandoned cart email goes out and how frequently they goes out. You can configure them to go out every 1 hour, after 1 week, after 2 weeks, and you can customize what content goes inside these abandoned cart emails, and you can fully customize the email templates with that. You can associate coupon codes so that these abandoned carts are then converted into actual carts. We talked about lack of design flexibility with the old e-commerce systems. With BigCommerce, you can have guided nav or dynamic filtering on the search pages. You can filter out products based on their attributes like size, color. You can filter out based on the prices. These all come out of the box, so you don't have to necessarily install any add-ons or do some custom development. So these are some of the features that come out of the box. In case if you do require some customization, BigCommerce supports stencil framework, which comes very handy to do customizations on the storefront. And we'll talk about more customizations in the coming slides, which involve server-to-server APIs. And if you want to build a UI that is not just using stencil framework or handlebars. Handlebars is a technology that is provided that the BigCommerce supports. So in case you don't require any of these, you can build your own UI. So we'll talk about those in the coming slides. Also, most of the themes are responsive out of the box. Another major concern is integrating with third-party systems. So one of the major things is shipping integrations. So BigCommerce has out-of-the-box integration with FedEx, UPS, USPS. So you can bring in your FedEx account, configure it in control panel, and see real-time shipping codes. The shipping codes can be either based on your zip code of where the user can enter their zip code, and it will calculate the shipping based on the product dimensions. So that's basically integrating with FedEx or integrating with shipping providers out of the box. In case if you do require any customizations, there's a shipper HQ module that you can install on the BigCommerce, and you can customize the shipping further. You can define the shipping cost based on the order totals, the product, and like we discussed, the quantity, weight, value dimensions, and more. You can configure these values in the BigCommerce control panel. We talked about lack of ecosystem being a major concern. So BigCommerce has a vast ecosystem. If you have troubles, you are not alone. You can reach us out. Dunn Solutions is a certified BigCommerce partner. So if you have any concerns regarding how you should do some customizations, or if you need any kind of help, you can reach us out. They have a good marketplace where you can browse for apps as per your needs. You can look for different kinds of apps. There are free ones as well as paid ones. You can connect with other partners who have faced the similar situations in the past and look at how they resolve the issue, or you can ask a design partner. So they have a good ecosystem that comes in handy when you have some problems on your site. So another major factor for driving sales on your site is selling your products on another platforms. So BigCommerce allows selling your products on different platforms like eBay, Amazon. There's a built-in integration where merchant products can be sold in front of millions of active shoppers. You can also sell your products on Facebook and Instagram, and these are all out of the box for BigCommerce. We are not just limited to these integrations, there are plenty of more. So you can look at the marketplace, and so we have just listed some of the integrations that are handy and that we have used for other clients. We have used Facebook, Google, Instagram, PayPal, Avalara Tax, NetSuite, Salesforce. So you can integrate with any kinds of CRM, ERP, or social media sites through the BigCommerce. So where are we heading towards with this? So the next future is coming towards the headless commerce. Let's talk what headless commerce is. So the BigCommerce currently has a vast set of APIs that allows decoupling your presentation layer from your e-commerce platform. So you don't have to necessarily use the BigCommerce storefront with the stencil that it comes out of the box. You can build your own presentation layer using the language you choose, like React, Angular. You can choose any kind of presentation layer and build your e-commerce solution with the help of the BigCommerce APIs. CMS solutions that go well with the BigCommerce is, we have listed just 3 of them, like WordPress, Drupal, Bloomreach. But we are not limited to these. If you do have any custom solution, there's tons of APIs that are available and that will help you do your customization. We have classified these into two types of APIs that BigCommerce has: server to server and storefront API. So any API calls that you need to make from your storefront, you can basically call these storefront APIs, which involves storefront cart API, storefront checkout, and so you can use these from your BigCommerce storefront theme. Server-to-server APIs allows you to interact with the help of OAuth 2 tokens. So you need the client ID secret access token, and you can create a cart, do a checkout, not just from the BigCommerce storefront, but you can do it from any other server, and it is secure because it's OAuth 2. And following APIs are available: catalog API, where you can access any kind of products, you can access the category tree, you can create products, and you can update products, you can create product images. So these all can be done from any other server, not just from the BigCommerce servers or BigCommerce storefronts. Checkout SDK is, we have used it for one of our clients. It was really nice to work for. You can bring in your own language. We use React.js to build the customize the checkout flow for one of the clients. It was very usable for us. If you want to inject any scripts, you can use the scripts API. Basically, you can inject it on any page, anywhere, header, footer. So you can use the scripts API to inject scripts on the BigCommerce storefront. Okay, now we talked a lot. Now let's look at a demo of how a BigCommerce store looks like. We'll show you some of the out-of-the-box features. We'll show you the control panel, how the backend looks like. Yep. So we are on a demo store right now. So this is how the control panel of BigCommerce looks like. On the landing page, you see your store's performance on that day, how many visitors were there today. You can look for different on a week, month, year, how your store was performing, how many conversions were there, how many shoppers were actually converted. That's percentage of conversions, how many orders were placed, what was the total revenue for the today, week, month, or year. You can take a look at the orders that were placed recently, how many orders are pending, what are completed. Let's take a look at the product catalogs. So this lists out all the products in the catalog. You can import these products either. There are different ways of importing the products. You can use the product import wizard where you can import it from a CSV file, or you can add products manually to your BigCommerce store. You can search for different products based on the keywords. Product categories, you can list out different categories. You can create as many categories as you want. The categories will be nested. It can go as to the level that you want. I think there would be some restrictions, platform limits, but it's pretty handy. Options and option sets. So basically, every product can have multiple option values. And so let's take a look at one example. So this product does not have an option. We can associate the option by creating a new option set. So you can create your own option. Let's say you can choose to display how your option will be displayed on your storefront, whether it would be a checkbox, rectangle box, how it's going to be displayed. So let's say I want to have it as a rectangle. You can select what values goes inside that. Now let's associate some of the SKUs. So you can generate the SKUs from the BigCommerce control panel, or you can bring in your own SKUs, especially if you have a ERP system that has all the SKUs, and if you have a PIM or something else. So you can bring your own SKUs. So you can either create it manually, or like we talked about, there's a import tool to automatic. If you have like more than 1,000, 2,000 products, you can use the CSV file and depend on and put all the information in the file, all the SKUs associated with the product. So everything can be in one CSV file, including the product categories. And once you upload the file, the BigCommerce will process it and create the products for you automatically. So you can have multiple brands on the site. You can associate what products are associated with what brands. Price list is another important feature if you have tier pricing enabled, especially for B2B. You can assign customer groups to particular price lists, and when a particular customer logs on to the storefront, they'll be looking at their own prices. Let's look at the order management. So there are different order statuses. that are associated with an order. So following are the order statuses. You can rename them. You can edit and rename them. But the API calls still depend on the status ID, so it's not going to break anything. You're just renaming how it looks like on the site. There can be tracking numbers that can be associated to the orders. So if a tracking number is associated with the order, whenever there's an email generated for your order shipments, it's going to have that tracking link if the shipping provider is set up correctly on the store. Let's take a look at the marketing module. So we talked about cart abandonment emails during the slides. So this is how you can set up how many emails go out of your store for an abandoned cart. So we have set up such that the first email goes out in 1 hour, the second email goes out in a day, and the third email goes out in 2 days. You can edit what email content goes out. It's completely customizable. Like we talked in the slides, you can associate coupon codes with your email. So if you want to promote so that your customers are purchasing based on their abandoned cart, you can associate these coupon codes, and these coupon codes will be sent out in the email blast. Another important feature is cart level discounts. So if you have any promotions going on, like buy one get one free or buy one get one 50% off, so there's different kinds of cart level discounts that can be associated with your store. So let's say you have a shipping discount. So if you want to order these many products, you get a free shipping, or if you purchase these dollars, you get free shipping for specific zones. You can associate a particular discount rule just for particular set of customers, so you don't have to give out all your promotions to all your customers. So you might have several use cases where you want to just give out the promotions to a specific customer group. So you can associate that here. You can set when the promotion thing ends, start date, end date. You can limit the usage of the promotion code so that it can only be used certain number of times. You can associate the text that shows up. So there are different types of rules that you can set up. So it can be a product discount, it can be shipping discount, like for the product discount, buy one get one free, or buy one get something else free. Order discount, so if order at least this and get 1 unit of product Y for free. So these are all out of the box. Let's look at the analytics module briefly that comes out. So we talked about how you can measure the store performance with your existing e-commerce platforms. I'm not sure if everything has this feature, but then you'll have to integrate with Google Analytics or some other analytics provider to see how your store is performing. But BigCommerce has analytics out of the box where you can just depend on BigCommerce to provide statistics for your store. You can look at how many orders were placed, how many visits happened, what's the conversion rate, how many revenue was developed at what time, how many people visited, how many people added products to their cart on the store, and how many people actually converted those cart to checkout, and how many people actually abandoned the carts. So this is real time. It's right now the store doesn't have orders, so it doesn't. But if in the real time, if there are any orders, it's going to show up how many orders were there. One important thing was search. So it's very important to measure out how you are setting up your SEO on the site. So if the site is set up correctly with SEO, it's very easy for users to search and look for products. So it's very important to measure how your site is performing in terms of search. So BigCommerce has analytics supports for search where it can measure what keywords return the results, what keywords did not return the results, what are the best performing keywords, and you can make, depending on what you see on these, you can make changes on your products and associate specific keywords, or you can suggest something if for the wrong keyword, misspelled keywords, you can associate the correct spelling with those. So there's analytics for abandoned carts. So it's not just that we talk verbally, but then once the abandoned cart emails are gone out, we'll come to know how much revenue was recovered from the abandoned cart emails that were sent out to customers. Sales tax reports. So if you have any sales tax configured on the site, it's going to have all the records of the orders that collected the tax. So let's look at how we set up some of the taxes and everything. So Avalara AvaTax integration is out of the box, so you don't have to implement customize any code to bring in your tax provider if it's Avalara. So all you have to do is get your account number and password and put in here, and BigCommerce will integrate out of the box for you. Or if you don't want to use automatic taxes, you can set up your own tax rules, how you want to configure the taxes and collect the taxes. Another major point is payment integrations. What kind of payment gateway are you currently supporting, or will BigCommerce support that payment gateway? So there are many payment gateways that are available out of the box. Let's take a look at some of them. So these payment gateways come out of the box for you, but if you have a payment gateway that is not listed with the BigCommerce, it's very much possible to customize and bring that payment gateway on the BigCommerce platform. This can be done with the checkout SDK that we mentioned during the demo slide. So the checkout SDK allows you to bring your own payment gateways, and we can configure that securely on this site. BigCommerce does not store any credit card data, although there's an option to store it, but everything is stored on the payment gateway end. So BigCommerce does not collect any credit card information, so it's still PCI compliant. You can set up your own shipping providers. So you set up a zone where you want to ship your products. You can set up over here, and then you can configure the zones. If you want to offer any flat rate shipping, or if you want to get real-time shipping codes. So for the real-time shipping codes, FedEx, UPS, and USPS are out of the box. But if you have any another provider, it's very much feasible to bring in that provider and integrate with BigCommerce. So I think I covered majority of everything what I had. Now let's take a look at how the storefront looks like. So this is just a demo store. The BigCommerce has a marketplace which has many themes out of the box to purchase. So we just purchase some of the theme, and it's out of the box. So it comes responsive. So if I shrink my browser, it's going to adjust accordingly. So if you're on your mobile phones, it's going to, the rendering changes. So it's all out of the box. Let's take a look at the faceted search that we talked about. So if you are if I search for something and I go on the search results page, So I can refine by the categories, and so I think I haven't enabled the faceted search, but once you enable the faceted search, product filtering, so we can enable what attributes will be shown on the storefront for customers to filter their products, and once you enable that, it would start showing up on the left nav as a guided nav. And there's a lot more, and it's very difficult to cover everything in 45 minutes. So let's jump back, and if you have any questions, and if you can contact Dunn Solutions to discuss your e-commerce needs and see if BigCommerce is a fit for your business. You can reach us out at info@dunnsolutions.com. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach. My email address is skrishnan@dunnsolutions.com. Again, I'm a technical lead with Dunn Solutions. Alternatively, you can reach Mallory, who's our marketing manager, and her email is there, and Jeff Goffinett, who's the director of sales. Thank you for your time.